let me paint you a picture. Imagine yourself, you're on the way home from work and you haven't had a time to think about what to cook. You look up a recipe and you decide, curry. You skip to the ingredients section and you walk through the aisle collecting all the ingredients. So far, so good. You pay for them, you go home, you're about to cook, and then, oh no, you've forgotten something essential for the meal. You've forgotten the curry paste.
Oh no!
So what do? Today I'm going to show you how to think outside the box, to think past the initial recipe and start creating your own meal. But first, I'm Marris. I've been cooking with my imagination for years instead of following recipes, and today I'm going to help you do the same.
Ladies and gentlemen, and bald-headed babies, introducing the ingredients.
Let's take you back. You just got home, you're about to cook, and you've forgotten the curry paste.
But that's the main ingredient.
No, that's actually fantastic, because now you can make the meal that you want to make.
But how?
Alright, let's run through it. Let's start with breaking down the curry.
Yes, what is a curry?
A curry is basically a thick soup made from spices and vegetables like tomato.
But tomato is a fruit.
Shut up, Brenton. So you decide, what vegetables do I have in the fridge? What do I want to add to it? What flavors am I looking? You could go, tomato, pumpkin, something like that as a base. The secret is to having the spices at home. They don't take up that much room. They're pretty cheap and they can be used in everything. So rather than buying pre-made curry pastes or pre-made sauces, make them yourself. Get some vegetables, blend them up, bit of spices. Yo, if you're digging the vids, smash that like and subscribe. Alright, let's run through it. Come on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, look at all this. This is going to be the base of the curry here. I'm going to show you how quick and how easy it is to make a curry with some vegetables and just whatever spices you have. Alright, we'll cut up some onion and throw it in. Alright, and then we'll throw that in. And then chop up some capsicum. Bit of salt and pepper. And then capsicum in. Not that guy. Alright, now we can go in. What's his cut? While that's all cooking, I'm going to cut up the ginger, some garlic, some chili, and throw it in as well. And that's eventually going to be blended and part of the curry. Alright, now I'm going to add the garlic, the chili, and the ginger to the meal and cook that through. And then the carrot, and then we'll blend it.
But what if I don't like that much spice?
Well, then don't add the chili and just add the other spices. But this one, I'm just going to add the chili. And then grate this up.
That'd be great.
Alright, throw this in. Then mix it all around, cook it all together, like so. I'm going to add a little bit of chives, which I've never done before. Let's give it a go. Come on, chives in. A little bit more oil. Whee! While the magic is happening, let's do the tomatoes. Now we can cut them up and put them straight in, or what I like to do is put this into the blender and then cook the tomatoes separately until they break down and add them a little bit to the sauce. Look how beautiful and fresh and red these tomatoes are. So the way I like to do this is put this just in here for the blender, but don't blend it, and then put the tomatoes into the pan and cook them until they break down. They turn into a liquid, and the liquid helps it blend more consistently. All right, let's throw it in. All right, so this is going to be all the flavor. When it blends through consistently, it'll be the flavor, and then this will go on to cook and break down. A little bit of oil.
Whee!
And the tomato on. So we'll come back in 20 minutes, leave this on low to medium. Welcome back. We've got the tomatoes here, so we're going to throw them in and blend them up. My favourite part, trying it. Let's have a go. Oh, smooth, a little bit spicy. I left a little bit of the tomato here and didn't blend it so that we can add it to the curry. Now I'm going to add the curry in, and what really makes a curry is the spices. So we'll try a little, put them in and see what we like. All right, so the best part is what spices are we going to add. So I'll just have a little try. Oh yeah, so bit of chili, carrot, ginger, can taste those things, can taste the tomato. What do I want to add? Now, the best way to know what to add is to smell it. Cumin. Yep, I will add a little bit of cumin. What about cinnamon? Yep, a little bit of cinnamon. That makes me feel good. Cardamom. No, not on this one. Maybe some smokiness. So, oh yeah, a little bit of paprika. And we'll add that in. We'll mix it through, and then we'll have another taste and see if it's right. Mixing it through. Do-do-do-do-do. Just turn the heat on. Just going to let the spices cook through a little bit. Try number 2. Oh yeah, now it's popping. A little bit more cumin is what I want. And more salt and pepper. Wait till you see the way I add the additions to this curry. And stay with us to the end and you'll see my tips for inspiration. Alright, what's next? Well, lamb is going in, and I'm going to cook it in there, put the lid on, cook it slowly, or the lowest heat, until it all cooks through. I'm excited. And then we've got apple. All right, let's cover them like so they cook nice and beautifully, and then we'll cover it with the lid like so. Now, the other day, instead of lamb, I used marinara mix, which was fantastic. And instead of with the tomatoes, I put chestnuts, and it was just amazing. But we're trying something new today. So we'll leave that for 20 minutes and we'll come back, and that will just nicely cook the lamb. One of the things that I'd sometimes do with this particular dish is I add a little bit of cream or a little bit of sour cream right at the end. And especially little blobs of sour cream when you're finished balances really well with the tomato and the spice. I've decided I'm going to add a little bit more water, make it a bit more curry-like, mix it through. That's going to take about 20 minutes on a low to medium heat to cook that lamb. However, when I was at the market today, I thought, why not add an apple to it? I haven't done that before, and I thought, let's give it a try. So we're going to cut some apples up, and once the lamb's cooked, we're going to put that in just enough so that it's still a little bit crunchy. Just warms it up. Apples can be fun. I'm actually so excited to see how this apple goes in here and how it goes with the flavours. Whew.
But aren't they big lamb chops? It's going to be hard to eat.
I'm going to hold it and chop it, and hold it and chop it. All right, that's been about 20 minutes. Let's turn the heat off, and I'm going to hold it and chop it. Look at that. Lamb. Who would have thought? I'm keeping the bones in because I want to. I'm going to try a little bit just to make sure it's safe. Oh, wow. So soft. Succulent. Woo. All right, so all chopped up. Now the apples are going to go in. So let's do that. And then we'll just cook it just till they warm up. All right. A little bit of heat. Turn it right down. Mix them all through and then lid on for a minute. Have you ever seen anyone put apples in a curry? Me neither. All right, so looks done to me. Now, the longer you leave it with the apple in, the softer the apple will get. So I'm looking for that crunch to go with the softness of the meat and the curry. But you could, if you wanted to, leave it on longer and the apple will turn softer and softer as time goes on, and it'll eventually be part of the curry. All right, let's serve it up. I put it in a bowl. So I'm going to have a try. And that's perfect. Something I always think, what could I add to it? And it's always that, like what I said before, is something like cream or sour cream or yogurt or even ricotta cheese. Can't wait to try the apple as well. It's hot, but it's really good. I'm trying to encourage you to use real ingredients and use your imagination to create meals rather than using processed foods or the curry paste, for example. A curry really is something you can add anything to. So it'll just depend on what your taste buds are looking for. You don't need to add heaps of sugar or a curry paste. In the past, I've done pumpkin curries, mango curries, added coconut, the chestnut the other night. Now that one was amazing. If you have a curry idea, throw it in the comments. I want to hear it. If you're liking the content, like and subscribe. If you like this video, you're going to love this one. See you in the next video.